So personally, I think that once a year is not nearly often enough to reassess your direction in life. And so setting New Year's resolutions only at New Year's is just, I mean, we know that's not effective. People get all excited about it and then they put a ton of effort into it for like the first week and then they quit. Like, New Year's resolutions don't really work because it's like a one time thing rather than a constant thing, something you're doing every day, not just on New Year's Day. Um, it feels like New Year's resolutions are a valid attempt, but terrible execution at self improvement, essentially. It's just whatever it is that you want to change about your life and improve about yourself or your situation or whatever. Um, has very, very good intentions, obviously, but it's just, they don't work. You have to do it more often. And so this last Christmas, I went around my family Christmas party and I asked everyone what their New Year's resolutions were. And now, halfway through the year, I'm trying to call them all and ask them how it's been going. And that's also part of my New Year's resolution this year, was to keep in touch with people better, to call people more often and just ask them how they're doing, what's going on, and actually keep in touch and have those connections. Far better than I could when I was on social media and we were always connected, but not really. There was no emotional connection. It was just, I'm aware of what's happening and that's about it. Like I want to like actually have a real connection with them and actually care about them and yeah, and hopefully be cared about in return, I guess, would be cool. I mean, I know they do, but it with the way social media has changed the way that we interact with one another, sometimes it just doesn't feel that way, and that's no fault of theirs at all. But anyway, so the New Year's resolutions of me, the video of me asking them their New Year's resolutions at Christmas, that never came out because I know that because of social media, it's not only changed the way that we interact, but it's also changed the way that we view video. When I think about home videos and the ones that I would watch of myself when I was growing up, or even of my parents when they were growing up, I would watch those home videos of them when they were little. And you think about how, like in the 90s and the 80s, whatever, people get all excited about a camera and they would want to be in front of it and be like, hi, hey, how's it going? Even in like early 2000s, people would be like, hey, YouTube. And it was cool. And now, since the mid 2000s into the 2010s, it's changed. There's a lot of people that don't like cameras. They don't want any sort of online presence. And I know there are a lot of people with that mentality in my family. I just could never remember like who is of that mentality and who doesn't care. So basically, I just wanted to not only call each of them to ask them like how the things have been going, but also like to double check with each of them, like, is this okay? And I'm building out a little spreadsheet of like who is and isn't okay with being posted online at all. And some of them just aren't answering the phone for whatever reason. Maybe they're busy or whatever. Or maybe they see it's me and they're like, oh, him. He never calls us. What does he want? When it's like, no, I just want to talk to you. I don't know. But anyway, so that video hasn't come out yet because I just haven't gotten to ask all of them to like double check with them. Is everyone okay with this? And then, of course, then there's the second half of that video, which is me calling them and asking them how it's been going. And I'm recording those because I've discovered in Wisconsin, the law is that you only have to have one consenting party in order to legally record a phone call, which I can see how some people might get a little annoyed with that. But then, like, I'll show them how I'm going to edit the video in a way where I'm portraying them respectfully, because like obviously why would I portray them any other way? Anyways, so my half-year resolutions. Oh, right. I should talk briefly on my New Year's resolutions I made before. It was way too many, way too many. In fact, hold on one moment right here. I've got a whole notebook dedicated just to that. Let's read just a handful of them. Okay. Sleep better, which actually I did that all last year and it's been very helpful. Drink more water, drink more alcohol, because I can't hold my own at all. I get like half a drink in and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna die. And I've actually been making progress with that. Like I can finish a drink and be okay as long as I have enough food beforehand. No haircuts. I've succeeded on that so far. Meditate every day. Oof, haven't done that. Garden. The garden needs to be weeded pretty badly. I'm gonna go there tomorrow though. So, cook more. I haven't really done almost any of that. Eat healthier. Haven't really done much of that. Exercise. Haven't done much of that. Build muscle, strength, flexibility. Haven't done much of that. Journaling. I haven't kept up with my journal. I have not been organized. I've been barely doing the bare minimum of maintaining myself, my things, and my spaces. Keeping my apartment clean is very time consuming. Brushing my teeth even, I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest. I even skip that some nights and it's not good. Be on time to things. I think I'm mostly successful with that. Learn to forgive people. Anyways, so like the list just goes on and on and on. That was like a third of the list. So granted, all things considered, I think I've done okay actually for my first half of the year, all things considered. For the second half of the year, I'm going to take that massive list and just narrow it down to some of the fundamentals. Maintain myself and my space. That includes getting enough sleep, eating somewhat halfway decent, exercising sometimes, keeping my apartment clean and organized, which I'm still struggling with, but I'm still in the fight. I haven't given up. Then there's uploading every 2 days. For the first half of the year, I was uploading every other day, because last year I was uploading every day, and now I've dropped it by another day, so it's every 2 days now. I need to work on the documentary on my grandma more. We've made some good progress with that, and we've hit a good point where I can just relax for a little bit, let her process her retirement, and then we'll go back at it with a fresh perspective in a little while. So it's a good spot actually right now to take a little bit of a break at it, but at some point in maybe a couple weeks, I really need to pick back up with that. I need to be good with the garden, because what happens every year is we get a good start and then we don't weed it and it all goes to hell, and we never, we harvest a little bit and what we do harvest goes bad. So the second half of the garden is where I really, really need improvement. I've got a couple other secret projects that I need to keep working on. I have projects planned for this winter, which I'm super excited about, but it's just a matter of forcing myself to actually do them, because I tried them a little bit last winter and it just didn't happen. There's my musical parks I'm doing every Thursday. That's been going fine. I as long as I just keep doing it, it's going okay. I'm pretty happy with that. There's oh god, what else is there? There's this analyzing the YouTube website that I started over a year ago and kind of abandoned. I want to pick up that series again and go back at it. Don't know if I'll be able to. I have made really good progress with testing out all my different cameras, seeing which ones I like, which ones I don't like, which ones work at all, or which ones work kind of but not enough for them to be worth doing anything with. But the real kicker, the one that's going to be the absolute most difficult is I really am ready to start fighting back against my OCD again. I want to start going through some or redoing exposure response prevention therapy, because that stuff is so incredibly painful but so incredibly effective. Because I've done it before. I've gotten myself through exposure response prevention therapy that I didn't even know what it was at the time. No one had told me about it. No therapist was instructing me on it. I just came up with it on my own and put myself through it to the point where I felt cured of my OCD. But my OCD, like, it takes different forms over the years. And when COVID hit, it took on its classic form of germophobia, and I just intentionally relapsed all my OCD habits and compulsions, and because it felt practical at the time. But now, like, we're definitely in endemic stage. Like, COVID's not going away. It's going to be around for pretty much forever, and we just have to accept that any chance of getting rid of it is gone. And I just need to force myself to get back to normal, because that is one of the biggest drains on my mental health over this last year is, fighting with my own brain. And I'm ready. Yeah, I'm always hesitant to say that, but yeah, I think I'm ready to say that I am ready to start fighting it again. And I've actually, to be honest, I've been ready for a couple months now, but I want to make a video documenting the process of it. And I just haven't gotten the chance to do that yet. So maybe I'll start that tomorrow. Fingers crossed. So yeah, those are my half-year resolutions, because, like I said, I think once a year is just not nearly enough. Not nearly often enough to reassess your direction in life, because you can get very lost and completely lose sight of your path of what you want and just get distracted in a far shorter time frame than that. And dare I say that probably quarterly is more even better, but I don't know. Daily, or just like literally always, would be even better yet, but that's exhausting.